That's why one carving will be standing at the edge. Here is in exam. One was standing here. One was standing here. Crown. Okay. Don't do that. So I think I've shown you this your batch, right? How to divide this. So once you divide the end, while carving crown, you won't feel that it is like you need this to be done, because when you are carving the whole tooth, okay, you will appreciate that movement of your or the placement of your crown buccally or lingually. Okay. You have any white sheet with you? Leave it. I'll carve. So now the first thing which I have to take is this thing. Okay, cervico-occlusal length of the crown. Okay, it is 8.5. I'll be taking 9.5. Okay, or 9. I'll make it as 9. So first I'll mark the side. So here we use the word buccal because it is posterior. Okay, we are not using the word labial. Okay, that is for anterior. Labial means the surface which is facing towards your lip, whereas the buccal is the surface which is facing towards the cheek. Okay, so since it is the upper teeth, I'll put the opposite of buccal as palatal. Okay, the surface which is facing towards palate. Okay, so and since we are so buccal lingual, so if I have to carve the right one, which one is mesial?
Gel
This is the
Royce.
midline. Mesial is this or this one? Patient mesial. This one? Yeah. So this is mesial and opposite of this is this. Okay. So first I will mark the length of the crown as 9 mm. Okay. So this is 9 mm. Okay. I'll mark on all the sides. So then you join, draw the line. Okay. Okay. So I got the length of the crown. Okay. So length of the crown is the cervico-occlusal length. Okay. Then the length of the root is 14 mm. So I'll mark it as. I'll see if possible, if time is there. So 14 mm. Okay. I'll mark it as 14 mm. Which one? No, 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 you're not supposed to. But I'll, because since I have to show a feature, we'll see if possible I'll carve if time is there. Okay, to show this. Otherwise, I just show this part. Okay. So now we took the length of the crown. Sit.
I can't see the color.
So now it is the mesiodistal diameter of the crown. Okay, so where do you take the mesiodistal? On the buccal surface. On the buccal surface, I have to take the bulk of the crown. Okay, this bulk. Got it? This is the bulk of the crown. So mesiobuccal diameter of the crown. So what is the mesiobuccal diameter of the crown? Sorry, mesiodistal diameter of the crown on the buccal surface? 7 mm. So I take it as 8 mm. So that's mesiodistal diameter of the crown as 8 mm. So from the midline, yes, if I divide that 8 mm, it becomes 4 mm. Yes. So 4 mm on the either side. So you take that from the edge. Okay. Okay. Right. So what I do is I just extend it. Okay. I roughly extend this. Now what happens is I just mark the unwanted wax. Yes. So this much wax I don't want. Okay. It's waste. So when it is waste, don't keep it with you. Okay. Exactly like your cell phone. Yes. If you have more memory, what happens? Delete it. Got it? So that's what I am going to do here now. I would have white sheet. So now from the buccal side, what I do is before carving it out, I just make a slope so that I get a idea like how much I need to remove or carve the wax. Okay. So palatally, occlusally, yes, make a slope like this. Yes. So this much wax is not necessary, not needed. So what I do is I use this part of the carver, okay, and I just carve this. Okay. So see, the wax shaving is coming towards this side, the right side. Yes. Don't do like this. If you do that, it becomes concave. Okay. So once it is done, I use the back of the carver. Anybody is having another carver, please? Carver. Slightly blunt it is. It takes more time. I don't have time. Use this one. Take this. Otherwise, your friend cries. You give this. Okay. So now you can make out. Yes. So this is what the wax which I didn't want. I removed it. Yes. The waste wax. So same side, same way I remove from the distal side. Okay. I use the curved part of the carver. See. Okay. Understood.
Okay.
So I use the back of the carver now to smoothen it and flatten it properly. Okay. So now next is we got this bulb. Okay. Yeah. Good morning. So we got this bulk. So we need to know this much. So there are 5 points we need to know so that we draw the outline properly. The first one would be the mesial and distal diameter of the crown at the cervix. This is cervical line. Okay. So we need this dimension. Yes. Next we need is the mesial crest of contour. Okay. Distal crest of contour and
Okay.
the buccal cusp tip. Okay. Yes. If we join all these things, we will get an outline, buccal outline. Yes. Outline from the buccal aspect. Yes. So what I do is first thing I would like to know this mesiodistal diameter of the crown at cervix is 5 mm. So I take 6 mm. So how much on the either side? I take roughly 3 mm. Okay. Okay. So now what I do is I divide this buccal surface into 3 equal parts because why? Why I am dividing this? Because I want to know the
Points.
crest of curvatures. Yes? Without that this keeps moving. That's why your carving sometimes becomes, it goes like here. Yes? This comes here. Correct? So that's why you divide this equally and point out. Okay? Any doubt here? So what I do on the mesial side, here, yes, at the junction. Junction is a line between the middle and incisal, yes. Whereas on the distal, middle of the middle third, yes.
Yes.
Okay. And since the mesial slope is more wider than the distal, what happens to the buccal cusp tip? It goes to the distal side, right? It will be placing, you will be placing it distally, right? Understood? So it is easy now how to draw. So now the outline from this mesially it is concave, yes, concave like this, yes. Here also distally concave slightly, yes. So I draw from here to this concave, yes, and here distally also concave, okay. And this will become more straighter. So mesial slope, mesiobuccal slope, and this is more rounded. Okay, understood? So I got the outline now roughly, and I need to carve this unwanted wax. Okay, this excess unwanted wax. Okay, yes. The carving should be such that you should carve labiolingually or bucco-palatally. Got it? See this. This is buccally. So first I make a slope, and I am not carving the entire marking. Okay, I leave a thin line here. Okay. Oh, why isn't it? Zoom it. Yes. So I am making the slopes concave. Okay. So this is more curved. Okay. Concave. Want it? So now I am extending this from buccal to palatal. Okay. Because I have to get a same outline on the palatal side also. So this is your mesiobuccal slope. Okay. Yes. So I use the back of the carver and I smoothen this. Okay. Then the distobuccal slope, I make it bit rounded. Okay. See here, I am rounding it up. This, it's not flat. Got it? So this,
Rounded from the top.
yeah,
It's rounded with an edge from the top.
this is bit rounded, not straight. See? Yes? Got it?
Yeah.
So now the cervical part you can carve in this way, and then you can use this carver like this to get a concavity. Got it?
Yes.
Like this. So then you smoothen this. Okay. So you got this, yes? And the same thing you do on the mesial side. You can use the anterior part of the carver. Okay. Okay. Got it? So you got the outline, right? Buccally. So same thing you get it on the palatal side. Okay? So this is what. So next thing which I have to do is, I'm going to reduce the height of the slope here. Okay? Yes? So what I do is, I mark such that this is palatal side. Okay? I just reduce it like this, 1 mm. Okay? Yes? So such that it goes once, it slopes towards the palatal side. Now you remove this. Got it? So is it reduced now palatally?
Yeah.
So once again you create a slope. Since I reduced it, it's becoming flat in the center. So you carve and smoothen this. Okay? Got it?
Yeah.
So now I reduced it. So next carving is from the mesial or the distal side. Okay, I'll carve from the mesial side. Okay. So now, what is the mesiodistal diameter of the crown? Or sorry, from mesial side is your labiolingual or buccolingual diameter of the crown. It's 9 mm. Yes.
Yes.
I take, what I do is first, before that, I draw the midline now here. Okay.
3.5.
Okay. You take 5 mm and 5 mm on the either side. I'm not using the scale. You take time, more time. So 5 mm and 5 mm. Okay. So just, I'm not removing this now only. I remove this at once because I'll tell you, because I need to have sufficient wax to create a bulk. Okay, to carve the buccal and lingual ridge. So this is the labio-bucco-palatal or labiolingual diameter of the crown. Okay. So now what I have to do is I need to draw the outline. So same thing. I need to know. I divide this. Yes. 3 parts. So I need to know these points: the labiolingual diameter or bucco-palatal diameter of the crown and the cervix. Yes. Okay. I need to know the crest of contour, the cervical, here in the middle of the middle third. Yes. And I need to know these points. Okay. Yes. So what I do is I map those points. So I divide this. So this is already there. So this is your. So now I have divided. Yes. So first thing I would do is I'll take the labiolingual diameter or the bucco-palatal diameter at the cervix. Okay. This is 8 mm. Okay. I'll take 9 mm. So from the middle it is 4.5 and 4.5, right? Here 4.5. Got it? Okay. Then the crest of contour on the buccal is in the cervical third. Okay, so I mark it here. Okay, and here I just take it inside the buccal one. So on the parietal side, the crest of contour is in the middle of the middle third. Okay, so I take it just below that. So what I do is I mark the outline now, the buccal outline. Okay, got it?
Yes.
And the parietal outline. So from that you touch the crest of contour. Right? Got it? So this is the outline which you have to get. So we'll see how to carve the buccal and the palatal surface. So why I didn't remove it initially, because I need some, as I told, the bulk wax to create the buccal ridge. Okay. So when you are carving now, it's just like your canine. Okay. You need to create a ridge, buccal ridge. So what I do is I don't flatten it. Okay. I won't do the flattening. I'll take first off here, right? So I'll be carving like this, more towards the occlusal surface, one half. Okay, I'm not carving the entire crown. Got it? So slope it, and next on the other side. So I'm carving more towards the occlusal surface, occlusal 2/3. Okay, so now what happens?
Not the ridge.
I'll show you now. So here the crest of curvature looks, it is in this part, right? The bulk here, right? I have to take it here. Yes? How to take that is, you just smoothen this such that it goes up. Okay? Remove excess wax. Got it? Yes? And once again you create the slopes. So then what you do is, using this back of the carver, what I do is you just create the cervical line. So you also create the cervical line as well as create the crest of curvature right here. Fine. Yes, can you appreciate here the crest of curvature, or this would be better? Yes. Yes, you created the crest of curvature and the cervical line. So then smoothen this. So this buccal carving, buccal cusp, buccal thing is done. Yes. The same thing we do on the lingual side. What you do is, since the crest of contour is in the middle of the middle third, yes, what you do is you carve from the middle towards the occlusal surface first. Similarly, first as you are creating the ridge. Okay? Understood? So only the occlusal half. See, can you make out? So next on the link towards the cervical half, you create the cervical line like this. Okay? Understood?
Yes.
Same thing what you did for the buccal. So see to that the crest of contour is in the middle of middle third. Okay, here, yes. Okay, yes. So then what you do is, if you see the occlusal surface here, okay, it's not straight like this. This is buccal, this is palatal. Okay, if I check this occlusal surface, it is not straight. Yes, it is narrowing. Yes. So now what I do is I'll be narrowing the crown now from the occlusal surface. What I do is I narrow a bit here and I narrow more so that it looks as if it is tilting towards the mesial side. Got it? Okay. So now what I do is I just carve once again. I remove the excess wax like this. Okay. This is on the mesial side. I carve. Okay. Yes, it is slope slanting, converging. You know, convergence like this. Yes. This is converging towards this side and diverging towards this side, right? Same thing I do on the distal side. So I carve, I remove the wax, okay, and then I smooth on this. So what happens now? The crown is becoming narrower towards the lingual or palatal side, right? So that is important. Whereas in case of your second premolar, you won't get this convergence. Okay? Yes? It becomes more straighter, the sides. Okay? So keep it in your mind when you are carving the second premolar, don't converge it like this. Okay? Keep it straight. Right? So now this we finished. So now we'll go for the, see, can you make out this? As I told initially, the mesiobuccal is wider here, yes?
Yes.
Next is the distobuccal smaller than mesiobuccal, yes? Yes? Mesiobuccal is small, larger, right? Yes? Bigger, and this is lesser. Yes? And this side is more lengthier than the mesial marginal ridge. Okay? See this? Can you appreciate? The length of the mesial marginal ridge is smaller than the distal marginal ridge. Okay? Okay? This one also. You can make out, right? So now we'll start carving the occlusal part. So I'll just zoom it. So how you carve it, okay? So first you are going to draw a line like central groove, okay? This is fossa, okay? This is just like H, okay? Modified H. So this is H, right? Yeah. This is H, right? I just modified this. Okay? Like this. Okay? Understood?
Yes.
So now the carving. So whatever you carved in the for the anteriors, it's different now when you are carving the posteriors. You need to carve the cusps, okay, and foci. So I will show how to carve the cusp and foci. So now we use most of this part of the carver, okay. Okay, you can also carve with this anterior part, but it becomes more concave. Yes,
Yes.
your cusps will become more concave. So I use this part of the carver. Okay. First thing I am going to create a foci. Foci is your depression. Yes, triangular foci. Please let me know if it gets blurs. Okay. So how I carve? Okay. See this part. Okay. This edge part. Okay. I'm carving this part like this. Okay. So I will keep it like this. This is buckle. This is palatal. Okay. So see this. I make a V shaped depression. V. What it? I move here deeper towards the pit. Yes? You know pit? So here this is pit and here this is one pit. Okay? Same type from the end of the edge, the palatal end of the edge, I go deeper here. See? Yes? And once again I use this thumb to push. Okay? Buccally like this. Got it? So I got a depression here. Yes?
Yes.
Can you appreciate?
Yes.
The same thing I do on the other side, distal. So from the buccal side, you press it. Yes? Go deep into the wax. Okay? Where the pit comes. From there you come out of the wax. Got it? You got a depression. Yes? Yes? These are the foci. You can appreciate this. See now? You can appreciate now. Yes?
Yes.
So now I will carve the buccal cusp. How I carve? So this is buccal side. So from the pit, you use this back side once again. Okay? See this? I go to the pit. Yes? So tip of the carver in the pit, that is your mesial pit. Yes? Okay? And the back of the carver facing the wax. This is your ridge, triangular ridge. Okay? So now, see this now. I apply pressure with the thumb. Okay? And I remove the wax like this. I come out of the pit. Okay? Yes? You got a one slope. Okay? You got a slope. So now this slope is not flat now. So what I do is I flat this part and like this. Got it? Yes? Can appreciate this part is more deeper here. Okay? Like this. More deeper here. Yes? And it is shallow here. Right? Can you appreciate that?